Hey gardeners, Lindsay here with the Mindful Living Movement, and today I'm going to talk about propagating your herbs from your plants that are outside to bring them inside for the winter. So if you're someone like me who has grow lights or sunny windowsill and you really like to grow your food indoors over the winter as much as possible, or you're just a big fan of houseplants and you want a way to bring in some houseplants that you can eat, this is a great way to do that. So I have gone through and I've harvested pretty much all of my herbs for the moment. Actually, that's not true. I haven't done my basil and my mint yet. I've harvested most of my herbs, and as you can see behind me here, I've washed and I've dried a whole bunch, and there's always like little bits and pieces that are left over. So what I'm going to do with all of these leftovers is all these cuttings, they're all freshly washed. You can either water propagate them, meaning you would peel off all the little stems on the bottom and you would stick them into a jar of water and you would wait for roots to sprout and then you would stick them straight into soil. Or because I know things like mint and rosemary and thyme, they put out roots really, really easily, I'm kind of just going to skip over the water propagating step for right now. Water propagating is probably going to boost your success maybe a little bit, but I've got quite a handful of like cuttings and things like that, and pretty confident that they're going to put out roots fairly quickly. So I'll show you how I'm going to put them in dirt and get them ready for basically bringing inside and getting some indoor plants growing. Now, I'm not keeping, tons and tons of cuttings to start out my new plants. They are going to be starting off as some pretty tiny plants, but I have found that propagating herbs or getting more herb plants going from cuttings does go really quickly. It's a great way to skip over trying to start herbs from seeds, because herbs are kind of one of the fussier seeds to get going. And if you do this, it works way faster, way more success. And what I do to just keep getting my plants bushier and bushier over the winter time is as they grow, if they're under grow lights, they grow a little quicker than if they're just on a sunny windowsill, but eventually they're going to start to grow and you can still start to take more cuttings off of those plants, water propagate them or stick them right back in the soil, and you can get more plants growing or get bushier plants growing by doing the exact same thing. So I've got rosemary, I've got thyme, I've got oregano, I've got some sage and some savoury. The only one I'm not 100% sure is savoury. I've never done it with savoury before, and I'm not convinced it's going to put out any roots just from what I've seen with it growing outdoors, but I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. All the rest of these guys though, I have propagated from cuttings, so I think we should be having lots of success with them. So the soil that I've mixed up to put my herbs into, nothing fancy, just some black earth potting soil out of the bag. I've added in some perlite, and I've also added in some orchid mix, which is totally not necessary, but if you're familiar with it, it's got lots of these little sort of like wood chips and stuff like that in it. I just like to add that in because it helps with moisture, helps with aeration, and just gives a little bit more sort of structure to the soil. So if you were using just a regular potting soil though, that already had everything mixed in, that would be perfect as well. So I'm outside with my herb cuttings that basically were just the leftovers from what I brought inside for drying, and these guys are the ones that I'm going to pot up to propagate to get some herbs growing indoors over the winter. So a little bit of thyme, oregano, sage, rosemary, and some savoury. So to prepare the rosemary for going in the pot, I'm just going to strip off the bottom leaves so that I've got a stem that, I'm probably going to give a little more than that, just so I don't have a bunch of leaves underneath the soil. So that's what I'm going to do with all of them, nice and gentle so you don't damage the actual stem itself. So this is what they look like, all ready to go. Okay, ready to pot everything up. Now, let me know, I've got in the description, there's a waitlist link. I am currently developing an indoor gardening course, and that'll be coming out pretty soon. But if you want to get on the waitlist and you want to be sort of the first to find out about it, first to kind of get the beta launch pricing, and also if you want to have input as to maybe specific modules or specific plants that you want to grow inside, whether it's shelving, grow lights, whatever it is that you want to be learning about indoor growing. Today talking about herbs, but I grow a significant amount of stuff inside, and here in Canada we have pretty long winters. Our gardening season unfortunately is very short. So one of the things that I really like to do is to grow as much as I can inside, basically space permitting. And I know that a lot of you are kind of in the same boat, you know, short growing season, and growing indoors is not really all that complicated. It doesn't have to be. Some plants require a little more attention, a little more love to, you know, really be successful indoors, but some are really, really easy. And if there's something specific, like if you just want to grow all your own greens over the winter time, anything like that, sign up for the wait list. Let me know in the feedback what it is that you are wanting to learn about, and I'll make sure that I add that in. You get to be sort of part of the beta launch, give me some feedback, help develop the program. I'm really excited about it. I've had a lot of requests for it, and yeah, there's lots of stuff happening behind the scenes. But I do want your feedback. I want to learn about what it is that you would like to be growing indoors. So I'll give you a quick look here at, really, I'm just filling up the pot 3/4 of the way, really loosely, poking my finger in, shoving the plants all the way down, pretty much right up to where the leaves start, and lightly packing. I'm not going too crazy and wild with it. I want the plants to be able to put out roots. I don't want them to be, you know, really struggling. If I've packed the soil like concrete, they're going to have a really hard time with that. Now, I have a lot of time, so I'm going to actually do two things of thyme here. And I'm not spacing them out. I'm just sticking a little clump right in the middle. Keep it easy, keep it simple. So there's the thyme. So go through and gently pot up the rest of your herbs, just as I've shown you here. And once you are finished, mine are going to be going onto my south-facing windowsill for maybe around a month or so until we start to get a little bit of shorter days, and then they are going to be going under grow lights just because I want them to be kind of their most productive selves, and I don't really want them to get too leggy on me. Be very, very careful with watering right after these are potted up. They don't have roots yet, so you want to just give them like the tiniest little dribble, keep the soil barely wet so that they can start to produce roots without basically rotting the stems, because that would be bad and then they would be dead, and you don't want that to happen. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, gardeners, and wishing you an abundant harvest of your herbs all winter long. If you are interested in finding out more information about the indoor growing course, getting on the wait list, getting the beta launch pricing option, and also just giving me feedback on what plants you really are interested in learning about growing indoors, be sure to check out that link in the description, and we will see you again soon.